will take his threat.
Let's now bring you more development from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where an explosion has taken place. Tell us about this incident.
TVC News. First with breaking news.
Kolishashla Mandela was born into the Madiba clan on the 18th July 1918. He got involved in politics in 1942 as he helped to form ANC Youth League. He was married to Evelyn Mays and they had 4 children. Mandela was arrested in a countrywide police swoop on 5th December 1956, which led to the 1956 treason trial. Before the end of the treason trial, he wrote to Prime Minister for vote to include a national convention on a non-racial constitution and failure to...
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
All right, folks, I greet you. Welcome to another program in the series, Journalist Hangout. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today on the program, Naira starts April on a good note, sells below 1,280 to the dollar at official and parallel markets. Now, chief spokesman for Obi and Dati campaign organization accuses Labour Party national chairman Julius Abure of snubbing Peter Obi's advice to organize an all-inclusive convention. And later on, we'll share this with you. Amid rampant system collapse, civil society coalition urges President Tinubu to declare an emergency in the power sector. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Utitoju. Jide, I greet you. Good evening.
Good evening, Citizen. Good evening, our viewers.
We are joined by the proud Ikorodu boy, Mayor Akinpelu. I greet you too.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
So the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, let's go. You know, the national currency, the Naira, opened the month of April on a positive note. It appreciated to 1,278 Naira to the US dollar, at least 1,309, from 1,309 Naira recorded last week. It is noteworthy to state that the Naira has gained some 21% over the dollar as a result of the intervention by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The ban on the street wants an exchange rate that affects him positively, right?
Yes, and frankly, we have to give credit to the CBN governor, Olaime Cardoso, for the steps that he has taken since he became the CBN governor.
Okay.
No doubt, at the time this government came into office, they felt the need to ditch the fixed foreign exchange rate regime in place of flotation of currency. Of course, in a very crooked forest market like ours, where most people do not think it makes sense to play by the rules, or where many people do not think it makes sense to play by the rules, where banks are doing their round tripping, where individuals who have stolen billions of naira are looking for a reliable store of value for what they have stolen. It is not advisable to simply leave everything to market forces to determine. What the CBN has now done is to do what is called the managed float. A managed float indicates that you are not leaving everything totally to market forces to decide. you are intervening minimally. I see a lot of needless arguments on social media that they are no longer floating the naira. I don't know why our people. I think what people do is once they've made up their minds on an issue,
they go to
even
town.
if you help them, you're trying to help them to get out of their ignorance, they will still stick to that issue. So as far as many of them are concerned, he has seen that floating the naira is not good. He has suspended floating. He has ditched floating. The question to ask is, what is the opposite of floating? The opposite of floating is the fixed forex rate regime, whereby you say, okay, our rate now, our exchange rate is 460 to the dollar.
Yeah.
And it stays like that until the regulator thinks, okay, let us devalue the naira further. This was what was happening before now. President Buhari never agreed to floating. I've also seen people say, oh, they've gone back to what the former administration was doing. Of course, that is not true. The system is different. The windows are unified. And everyone goes to trade in that unified market. The totality of the transaction on a given day, they will then find the average. That is how they arrive at the rate at which the naira closed on a given day. It's not like before, where you knew that it was 460, the official market, I mean the official rate was 460 to the dollar. And you had a different rate for people going for Hajj. You have a different rate for people going to school abroad. We had multiple windows. There is no such thing as a multiple window. So to say that they've gone back to what others are doing, or they are not doing anything different to others, is the height of ignorance, deliberate ignorance, ignorance peddling. That is what we are seeing. What the CBN is doing currently is to ensure that after the clearing of those forex obligations to banks and to the airlines, we are able to supply the market a lot better. CBN and other banking institutions are bringing more dollars into the market. Of course, they are able to do that because foreign portfolio investments are coming in. Nigeria is selling its treasury bills at a rate that is attractive to foreign investors. So they are buying Nigerian assets. And what that has helped us to achieve is greater liquidity. We have more dollars now that we can push.
Does this say we are close to home?
No, it's one way by which we can get to the optimum value of our currency without doing what we are doing. There was a time that Emefiele spent 17 billion defending the naira. We don't have such luxury anymore. We don't have that kind of money to simply be throwing at, defending the currency. So that's why the managed float ensures that, okay, while we leave a greater chunk of the decision making, in inverted commas now, to market forces, we cannot afford to let it slide beyond the reasonable level. There were people who kept stolen naira, and they kept going to that market to buy. In such a situation, they will continue to create scarcity that will drive up the
value
dollar rate and crush our currency. So now the CBN, okay, let us come up with some measures. Today, if you are selling dollars to a bureau de change operator, you cannot sell beyond $10,000. And if you are selling above 10,000, you must show proof of how you got the money. So there are some measures that have been taken. If your son is sending dollars to you now from the UK or wherever he is, nobody will pay you dollars across the counter. They will pay you the naira equivalent.
Okay.
Yes, because it's not illegal tender in our country.
Okay.
So what is the craze for the dollar about? My feeling is that we are on a good course. No matter what some people don't want us to get out of it. But we are on a good course. And the naira will ultimately find its right value. It will ultimately find its right value. The measures being taken now, including the clearing of those backlogs, are encouraging foreign investors to take Nigeria seriously again. Because one thing, even when the president traveled, the last time he traveled, he said, you will be able to repatriate your money. Nobody wants to come into an economy where you make money and you can't repatriate your funds.
Yeah.
So the president has continued to say that. And with the way Cardoso prioritized paying all those backlogs, I think that the confidence in the Nigerian economy is coming back, and we are seeing it. Of course, the diaspora remittances too have gone up. When I asked one of my friends, how come the diaspora remittance? Because the CBN will readily admit that this liquidity is partly influenced by increased diaspora remittances. He now said, with the naira being so weak, the people abroad, they are encouraged to send more dollars home. You get the point? If they are building projects and other things that they want to do.
All right.
So in a season where the currency that they are using there is a lot stronger than our own, they will be sending more money home. You know, so I think...
Mayor, to the man on the street, this, what he has just said sounds like beautiful grammar. So it means information, disinformation and all that. We have to do something about it, because if the man on the street is informed regularly like this, tension will be lessened.
Yes, I agree. I'm one of those that criticize the governor of Central Bank or the monetary and fiscal policies of this government, because they, at the initial stage, they made the mistake of allowing it to get out of hand. It got to a situation where if things are not being done, the naira will have just collapsed. At 1,600, it was threatening to go up.
Aye.
And it was going up in a way that...
to 2000.
Yeah, it got, yes, so almost, yes, because there was a time, it was 2050. And the mistake that they made was that they should have done what they are doing now, which is manage float. No country floats its currency, even United States of America. Nobody floats currency, because it is too volatile for you to allow the dictate of
The market forces yeah,
to determine the value of your currency. I agree that yes, there is need for us to have a unified window. I agree that we should. It is not right for us to have an official rate and the other rate that people now use it to do round tripping, and they were making billions. Even the former governor of Central Bank criticized and said people are making billions without doing anything. I concede that, but they should, now that they've. But you see, the hope that I had then was that we know the antecedents of Cardoso. Somebody cannot, class is permanent. If you are brilliant, you cannot become bad overnight. So we know that eventually it's going to get it right.
Yes.
So we are on the right course, because we'll be able to solve a lot of problems. One, we'll be able to break the backs of those who are trading negatively on the naira. The cryptocurrency people, the Binance yeah, and all that, who were manipulating that rate because it is in their interest to do so. And a lot of dark money was coming in, and nobody could identify those who are doing those business. We will be able to break that, and then we'll be able to halt the speculators, because there are some speculators who were buying the dollar to hold, believing that, oh, this thing is now in 2000, it will keep going and then we'll cash out. and eventually they've lost a lot of money. So they too were now forced to offload a lot of currencies with them. So it's an interplay thing. But what is important is that the CBN is on the right track. Is on the right track. I still believe that it's to still come much, much lower than the way it is now. Yes. Ultimately, it's going to be around 700. I see it around 700, 750. Between 700 and 800. I think that will be the real value of the Naira. Yeah. What we have now is just the teething stage of introducing a policy. It takes some time for you to be able to look at those who wants to outsmart you and all that. And I give it to Cardoso because, like I said, I was one of those who criticized him to say, look, you cannot allow this to be going like this. But I thank God that...
Remember, it wasn't even Cardoso that initiated this thing.
Yeah, I know.
The whole thing began after the president took over.
Yes.
Then when the president took over, he used the former CBN governor for some time.
Yeah.
After that, then he picked one of the deputy CBN governors, and that was the person who ran the show for some time before Cardoso came on the scene.
Yes.
You know, so Cardoso cannot be blamed. He didn't start
of course, floating. Yes. He didn't.
He met them.
He met it, yes.
On this thing. But he's the one who has now introduced some tough measures to make life difficult for people who are trading. We didn't know, and I can bet my life that what Cardoso did by ordering those banks, Nigerian banks held on to $5 billion. And we didn't know that they had that money. There's scarcity, and you kept this kind of money.
And they didn't give anybody. Because you go to your bank, they won't give you. Yes, they won't give you.
The truth is, they didn't work for it. It was the CBN that was selling dollars to them. CBN will auction dollars every week.
And they will buy.
They were getting it. Sometimes the CBN will auction as much as $120 million in 1 week. And they were getting it cheaply. Why are you keeping tons of dollars? You are just you are an agent. You don't you are not a manufacturer who needs to bring in product and all that.
Yeah.
You are just an agent to reach the end user, and you are holding on to it. So Cardoso came and said, all those dollars in their vaults, they must sell. Some of those tough measures that we are seeing now would never have happened in the past.
The dollars are beginning to come out now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Even that week because he gave them a time ceiling that within this time, it must come out.
Yeah.
And we are seeing increased liquidity. When the liquidity increases, the hunger itself will be moderated. It is because people can find it.
Dangote is on stream now.
Yes.
They started selling now.
In fact,
I hear
when he talks about 700, that it would come to 700 or 800. That is what I feel too. Because as we speak now, we are not even making enough money from crude oil sales because of forward contracts that the last administration
did
embarked upon.
Okay, we must.
So whatever crude oil we produce now,
honor those contracts.
Yes, they are said.
But you've collected the money.
Even Dangote cannot receive crude oil from NNPC because they've already sold in advance. They've sold in advance and collected the money.
That's why he's buying from America now.
Yes,
buying crude from America.
So the money that this new administration should be making from crude oil sales is not coming because whatever you produce now is already pre-sold. So, and when that forward contract ends,
I think it's ending in around some
somebody
months.
said June or so.
Yes, June, around June.
When that ends, and we can achieve greater production, we've already achieved greater production. They got to, I think, like 1,400 per day. But Nigeria is capable of producing 2,500 barrels if we sort out the issues that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 million.
Okay.
2.5 million barrels a day if we sort out our issues. Oil theft is humongous. Yes. We sort out matter of oil theft. Then the divesting that is going on in that oil sector, some foreign companies are leaving. And when they leave, production levels also drop.
Goes down, yeah.
So if we can sort out the problems in the oil sector, if Nigeria can do 2.5 million liters a day, we will earn a lot of foreign exchange that the pressure on the naira will go down drastically. I pity people who did not use their brains, went and bought dollars for like 1,800 naira, about 1,800 naira, hoping that it will get worse. If those Binance people, if we had not moved against them, oh my God, what they were planning for you and I was to push the naira to like 3,000 to the dollar. That was where they were heading. And if they were not criminals, they arrested one.
Of course
they found a way to escape. If your hands are clean, you wait for your.
Of course, they're criminals.
They ran away.
Mayor, you and I know that the ultimate way of saving the naira, the national currency, is to go into an aggressive production activity one more time and foreign exchange.
Of course.
And
it's not rocket science.
Not much.
If you don't, but the problem that we have is that we import so much and we export so little. We have to do something about that.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem, because when you import, you use foreign exchange to pay.
That's it.
You don't pay in naira. You use foreign exchange to pay. And that puts so much pressure on your naira, because you have to continually look for dollar. Everybody is looking for dollar. The person that wants to import things. So we import all manner of things. So it is important that as we are looking to increase our oil production, we must also find a way of bringing back production. And also, I think government should also look into agricultural produce. Because, for example, now cocoa is doing very well. The cost of cocoa is very high now in the world market. But we are not really producing the cocoa. But we can do it, because in the old Western region, it was the money of cocoa that they used to develop Western region.
Yes.
And they did so many things. So many things. Awolowo and his crew were able to do so many things based on the pushing from
Eastern
cocoa.
region, all this.
Oil, palm oil too. Yes.
And north.
And not cotton.
And
cotton, yes. So what I'm saying is,
tannery.
yes, we have to go back to that. We have to find a way. And granite and all that. So
you know that place where they used to do the granite pyramids. Initially, they were
in Kano.
Yes, initially local dry cleaners. People they call listen. They wash clothes there. So they changed the name of the place to Filling Wanka. That means the feet where they wash clothes.
Oh,
Filling Wanka. Today, if you go to Kano, except if something has changed, they now sell second-hand cars in that place. Where we used to have the granite pyramids, the iconic granite pyramids. It's second-hand cars that they sell there. To tell you that we just gave up agri production.
By choice.
That provided us with cash. They call them cash crops.
Yeah.
In those days, even in social studies, we were taught that they were cash crops. Economic trees. We gave up agri production.
Gentlemen, I remember when the mad cow disease came, we got told that cyanide from cassava was the cure to mad cow disease. And that's why Abia State, the governor at the time, Uzo Kalu, made so much money by exporting cassava. So
Nigeria is the world's greatest producer of cassava.
Yeah, but could you say that today?
We are still the number one.
Yes, we are still doing well in cassava.
We are still the number one. You see,
but we can do better.
What we are not doing is the byproduct.
Okay.
What they call the value chain. That's what the Swiss, the Danes, they made the best chocolates, but they don't grow cocoa
at all.
They don't have cocoa.
They can't even grow there.
They will buy it from Ivory Coast, and then make far more money from it,
and export to Ivory
Coast. Ivory Coast will make money from selling cocoa to them. They will turn it to chocolates. We'll see how costly chocolates are now.
Yeah.
Get into any.
In fact, it's more expensive now.
Very expensive
in the foreign market now. Yes, because the cost of cocoa has gone up really.
Yes.
I think there is scarcity of the product itself.
Gentlemen, as we sit here, we have a choice. We must go back there.
It's production that, that will help us. These measures that the CBN has taken, they are like remedial measures to address a situation urgently.
Yeah.
But what will bring us out of this problem is production, production. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. We have to.
I agree.
But when people say, I tell them, look, they are not fools. You don't expect them to fold their arms. You are wondering why they are selling treasury bills at 17%, whereas it was 4% in January. They've got to find a way to bring in the dollars.
Obviously. Yeah.
And if they are doing that, those people are investing. In some months down the line, they will want to repatriation of what they are invested in. We have the dollars. We are getting the dollars that we need now. You can't blame them for doing that.
Yeah.
Because if they just sat down and didn't do anything, we will be on 3,000 naira to $1 now.
Oh, come on.
And nobody wants to see that. That would be, I mean, it will just...
Because at the time I was scared. I went to watch Cup of Nature in Cote d'Ivoire, and I was scared that what has our naira become? So, well, at least it's getting better.
Okay.
Let's be hopeful.
The important thing is we're on our way home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take a commercial break now. We'll return very shortly. Please stay with us.
I actually came to pay the money for the recruitment consultancy you did for my company.
Beautiful.
I took 2 million.
Just hold on. I now collect dollars.
What?
Yes. I don't understand what's happening to Naira these days. So it's going to be 2 million times today's exchange rate.
Doctor, wait. Doctor, wait. Don't tell me you are one of those people who directly put pressure on the Naira and make it lose its value. You want to dollarize our economy, and yet you pretend as if you don't know what is happening to the Naira. I've told you about how you abuse the Naira by spraying and stamping on it during your occasions. You deface and abuse the Naira as if it's not our national asset.
Chief, take it easy.
How? I will not take it easy. And neither will the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Task Force on Currency Abuse and Forex Malpractice take it easy with you. They are coming for you. Diseased from economic sabotage, or you will face the wrath of the law.
All right, folks, let's go to our next story. You know, the disputed Labour Party National Convention of Wednesday, March 27th, has come and gone, but the ripples remain. The chief spokesman of the Obi Dati campaign organization, Yunusa Tanko, has let it be known that the party chairman, Julius Abure, flatly dismissed the advice of the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, for an all-inclusive convention. Tanko goes on to remark that the current crisis rocking the party was largely preventable. I'm told that in politics, the problem you must be wary of is the one you do not see.
That is something that Mayor wanted to explain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let him quickly.
Let me just quickly explain that. You see, people ask questions. Why is it that the black market rate is lower than the official rate?
As we speak.
Yes. The reason is simple. When it was going up and it becomes crazy, you understand? Because these people that you see in black market that sell dollar, they are speculators. So they'll be able to amass a lot of dollars. So when this thing has started happening, it is important for them to quickly bring out those dollars and push it out, or else they'll have to cut their losses. And you know, in demand and supply, when you now push the money out, you are the one begging people to come and buy it off you before you start
and of course,
using another rate.
Something gives there.
Yes, that is why it is lower.
Even the BDCs, the CBN sells $20,000 each to each of the BDCs.
Yeah.
The CBN told them, okay, I've sold to you at 1,255. Do not sell it to people above 1.5%, which means that they can only sell they were expected to sell to people I think 1,269 or so.
Yeah.
Do you know that they've been selling at lower than the rates that the CBN sold it to them?
Okay.
And if Dr. Gwadabe, the president, he said we are selling below the rate that the CBN advised us to sell. So I'm like, so a day like this could come when official rate will actually be higher than...
Because they've stockpiled, hoping to make a lot of profit.
So now they are...
So now when the price is going down, if you don't cut the losses, you just realize that you have so much dollar in your hands and you can only sell it at 1,000. And they don't know what will happen. It could possibly keep going down. So it's important for you to quickly release the one that you have so that you can now start trading
it's a big
at the new price.
Because there was a time when the official rate was 460 and they were selling at 750.
Yeah.
About 200
Yeah.
or so or more.
Because the demand was so high that they can determine their own price.
Mayor, let's talk politics.
Yeah.
Labour Party is still in crisis.
You see, what is happening in the Labour Party is very...
Did you see it coming?
No, I did not see it coming, but I did not really believe them. With all respect, Nigerian politicians are the same.
Yes.
They lack ideology. Whether they are in APC or PDP or Labour, they are the same. You understand? So it's the same man, the arrowhead of Labour Party now, their presidential candidate, came from PDP. So nothing has changed. It's the nomenclature of the party that they were contesting on that changed. But you see, it is so sad that a party that was formed by workers, by Luther people, can also show us that they also have all the traits of the politicians that we've all condemned. Because everything has happened in Labour Party. They've accused themselves of fraud, they've accused of corruption, they've accused of them of manipulating things, of forgery, of all manners of things. Even in their convention, they cannot even do a convention. Remember that this convention that they are doing now, the Nigerian Labour Government went to attack them and to say that they wanted to remove Abure. They were able to patch it up. They did the convention. Now everybody is screaming that the convention is not inclusive. Even INEC said they didn't recognize it. So what it has just shown is that Nigerian politicians are the same. So don't let us deceive ourselves, especially the so-called obedience and people who were saying, "Oh, this
are they
party."
so-called?
No, that's what they call themselves. That's what I'm saying. That's what I call them. I didn't call them that. That's what they call themselves. So what I'm saying is that they believe that, oh, this is we want a new Nigeria. Oh, these other political parties are people by old politicians that brought us to this dead end. They want to start a new course for Nigeria. That's what they told us.
As a matter of fact, Peter Obi said he was propelled more by a pan-Nigeria than by an LP, Labour Party, that was bigger. So there's still wahala.
And when you look at things, even what makes it amusing is that they are not even calling them themselves on principles. Today you will hear some people say Abure, they are with Abure. Tomorrow they will accuse the same Abure of corruption and fraud and things. Tomorrow Obi will say, oh, I'm going to resolve the problem in the party. The following day the spokesperson will tell us that, oh, the Abure didn't listen to Obi. Labour Party is, to me, it's a missed opportunity because they could have been a genuine alternative to the two big parties. But the way they are...
They are going to implode.
Yes, they are going to implode.
They are going to implode. You see, when Peter Obi said last week that he's trying to change the Labour Party and that if the Labour Party does not agree to the change, they will leave the party
for them.
I knew and I speculated, even on my program, Issues with Jide, that Obi will not back Abure. Because he could see that the obedient elements, bloc of Labour Party, they don't want Abure anymore. Right. The obedient bloc appears to be on the same side with Labour, with NLC.
NLC, yes.
So they don't want Abure. The feeling that they have is that Abure has exploited the opportunities that Labour Party gave him, has amassed wealth, has built houses that he didn't have before, and that he's been using the party for his own personal, to satisfy his own personal desires. They want to take over the party. Ajero and the political wing of Labour, of NLC now.
NLC,
Let me use NLC. They want to take control of the party. Abure, based on the story that Tanko told, Abure is desperate to hold on to leadership, and he will not listen to anybody. What they suggested to Abure was, this convention, let's not just do a straight convention. Let it emanate from the ward
level. Yeah.
You know, let it emanate from the ward level so that it will be all inclusive. That's the language that Tanko used. He said that was the appeal that Peter Obi made to him. But he knew that if they should organize that, just the same way the big parties will first do congresses and all that, leading to the convention, that if they should do that, he will lose power.
Of course.
And he wants to hold on to power as much as possible. And that's why I'm disappointed in him. It's not different to other politicians, because this is the way they reason. Once they get power, they will do everything humanly possible to hold on to it. That's what Abure is doing. That convention that Robert stamped him, the big people in Labour Party, none of them showed up.
In fact, the EOT,
the governor
itself
of Abia, didn't show up. The senators of the party stayed away. That's the former national chairman of ABGA, Victor Ume. Ume stayed away.
Yeah.
Peter Obi, who by his stature and his performance in that election should actually be the head of the party, the national leader of the party.
Of course, yes.
Peter Obi too stayed away. So who are the people who rubber stamped you as re-elected national chairman? So
and they purportedly gave the 2027 ticket to Obi and to Governor Oti.
That's to tell you that they are probably even worse than.
Which is ridiculous. That's not democracy.
It's not at this stage.
How can you say that you have reserved the presidential the slot for someone because they just wanted to use that to bribe Obi,
to keep them in the party,
so that Obi can fall in line with them. That's what they want to do.
They don't want those guys to leave the party.
Do you see Obi jumping ship?
I don't think so, because why I'm saying so is that if Obi was able to get Labour Party on a platter of gold, and circumstances at that time turned Labour Party and Obi's candidacy to a major thing in the Nigerian political landscape. Going to start all over again, going to start another political party again, the circumstances are different.
Yeah.
So you may not have.
But we heard of flirtations with the SDP. Have you heard that too?
Yes, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If they do that, if that's what they want to do, I'm telling you they will fail. You see, it's always very difficult for a new party to come and take on the big parties. It's always very difficult, no matter how powerful you are. You can do it in a closed area, but to do it on a national stage is very difficult. It's very, very difficult.
Jide, and the defection of the 6 lawmakers.
I think they will try and seize the party from Abure. If they come together, I think they represent a formidable bloc.
Yeah.
Within the party.
Of course, the Obedience are the largest group within the party.
Within the party.
And allied with the NLC and TUC. They cannot, the Abure people cannot take on such a big group.
Now,
so they will try to, before Obi gives up, they will try to take the party from him. You know, the House of Reps caucus of the party, they don't want to see Peter Obi. I mean, they don't want to see Abure. So, and by not attending their convention, it raises some legal issues. Whether this convention will be recognized by the INEC.
No, INEC has already said it's
it means that any candidate that this convention produces,
it's null and void. Yes, they're going to do it again because INEC said they don't recognize it.
I think it's possible for them to seize the party from.
I believe so too.
Mayor, I was going to ask if you think the defection of the 6 lawmakers from Enugu was in any way denting the party some more.
Of course, yes. You know, the reason for that is simple. Like I said, Labour Party emerged as a vehicle for a lot of people to realize their political ambitions.
Yeah.
You understand? Not that they really believe in the Labour Party. They had plans to move to another place. You understand? But now that there seems to be that division within the party, it makes it easier for them to join the winning team. You know, in Enugu State, Labour was very strong in Enugu.
Oh yeah.
In fact, everybody thought they would take Enugu.
Yeah,
they were very strong in Enugu. So it's understandable for those lawmakers to know that there's no point in staying in Labour. PDP is the party of choice.
They even explained that the crisis in the party is the reason why they left.
Because that's the only constitutional reason why they can leave.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we will go to our last story, but not before reminding Labour Party of what the late Napoleon Bonaparte said. He said, if your enemy in politics, if your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt him. All right, following the rampant system collapse in the power sector and the need to try something significant in order to remedy the situation, something new cannot be overstressed. And so a coalition of society groups has urged President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in the power sector. The coalition raised serious concerns over the consistent decline in the national grid and also tackled the root cause of poor electricity supply. What more can we say here? But first, let's share this story with you. Please watch on.
2023, according to a report by the International Energy Agency. But Nigerians suffered more nationwide blackouts in 2023.
Of the civil society community of Nigeria.
These social justice civil organizations say the state of electricity across the country has become a matter of national emergency, with repeated collapses of the national grid and the inability to fully transmit and distribute the minimal capacity being generated.
The most painful aspect of this ugly development to the civil society community is that while the nation is languishing in darkness and epilepsy power supply, about 226 containers of power equipment and transformer owned by the TCN are at various ports in Nigeria.
Before one will not say what is the linkage between the abandoned containers and the epilepsy we are experiencing in power, I'm sure the answer is clear. Those equipment were procured in view of the fact that a few months' time, some of the existing equipment needs to be replaced. Now, they cannot be replaced because someone has just decided to be irresponsible to his responsibility. Someone has just decided not to be alive to his responsibility. Now, those equipment are trapped at the various ports.
Jide, tackling power is very, very important now.
Yes. When you look at, in fact, this is one area that needs President Tinubu's attention. And we cannot say that any progress has been made in the power sector since this government took over. I can't see the progress that has happened. I can see progress in some areas, but not in the power sector. And if anyone knows about progress that has happened in the power sector since President Tinubu took over, I'll be happy to be enlightened. It's just terrible what is going on. We've had so many, grid collapses. In fact, in 2023, the grid collapsed 3 consecutive times This was in September 14, 19, and December 11. Nigeria's national power grid collapsed 49 times between 2017 and 2024. And the country recorded 24 power system collapses in 2014 alone. In 2015, it collapsed 10 times. In 2016, it collapsed 28 times. 21 times in 2017. In 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, there were 13, 11, 4 and 4 collapses. So now what the leadership of the National Union of Electricity Employees is asking the president to do, along with this civil society coalition that we just listened to, that the president needs to declare a state of emergency. We cannot record economic growth and development under this kind
at this rate.
Yes. This arrangement cannot bring progress. We are a country like Egypt has more than enough electricity, and it is even making plans to export to some countries of Europe, like Cyprus. We can't produce, we can't do more than 3,000 megawatts. 3,000 megawatts for 200 million people.
That Morocco
we cannot even transmit that 3,000.
That Morocco is the leading country in Africa that relies on solar energy. Cannot be magic.
If you go to, I think one of the hottest parts of our country is Jamari in Bauchi State.
Okay.
We have all that we need to deliver off-grid power. We have it. Solar, we can do solar in abundance.
Wind.
You know, I was discussing with someone. I said, do you know that there is one country where an airport runs 24 hours on solar? He said, it's a lie. I said, in India, there is an airport. I said, use your Google. There is an airport that runs completely on solar in India. It's the first airport in the world to run 24 hours on solar. So, but look at us here.
You should have told him also about the Lagos State Secretariat.
Look at the problem of UCH now.
Okay.
As somebody who had been admitted in UCH before, and they saved my life there, and I'm ashamed that UCH has not got electricity for the doctors to perform their functions because they are owing. Yes, and the disco said, okay, pay 250 first. You are owing more than 400 million. Pay 250, we will restore. They can't pay. Nothing in the world, and I think the president, given the history, the pedigree of UCH, where even world leaders,
the King of Saudi Arabia
used to come and take get Medicare. Our president has to, as a matter of emergency, direct the Rural Electrification Agency to go and construct off-grid power supply for UCH.
Because it can be done.
They did it in Luth. Luth runs 24 hours electricity. I did a documentary about Luth. The same Luth where people used to use their phones to do surgery. Today is 24 hours electricity. So we are not doing enough.
We are not.
We are not doing enough.
Mayor, what strikes you when you hear the news that electricity tariff would go up by, is it 200%?
Yes, almost 300%. I think it's
what strikes you?
I believe
so only 15% of consumers.
Yes, for the people in Obara, for people like us, we are the one. I hope we won't just die.
No, I don't think I'm part of you people.
What do you mean by Obara? You know, don't you live in Obara? What do you mean by you are not part of?
I'm not part of the people who pay that.
Okay.
Well, you are in the urban areas. But what I'm saying is that I agree that for us to have the electricity, we need to pay for it. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
The estate where I stay,
Nigerians will pay.
the estate, no, that's what I'm saying. The estate where I stay, we pay. We don't pay normal charges. We pay special rates. Because one of the things that is disco, especially Ikeja disco, and I think they must have done it in other places, but Ikeja disco, they looked at some estates, Magodo, Omole, GRA, and then they had a meeting with the executive of the estate to say, look, we want to sell to you at a higher rate so that we'll be able to dedicate more to you. You understand? Because they realize that in some areas, it's difficult for them to retrieve their money from those areas. But you are organized.
Beat them up.
So they can just go there and give you. And they did. And we didn't mind. I remember that when we were born, I was one of the people that argued that, look, when you look at the money we spend on diesel, this thing makes sense. So let's do it. So we don't have any problem paying what they believe is the appropriate price.
Yeah.
My problem is that when you have to look at the energy sector holistically. And that is why I am disappointed that as government is trying to do so many things, do a lot of things in every sector, we've not seen the kind of brilliance expected from those who run the energy sector. Because look, this is not when you are if you know what you are doing, you don't even need a year to be able to make the difference. Or just show that in internal affairs. Just with creativity. Wike is doing that in FCT.
Yeah.
So when you are creative enough, you'll be able to do things and make the difference in 6 months. And we are not saying we are not going to pay. Nigerians don't mind to pay, but do things. All the problems that we've had, they've not even made efforts to solve those problems.
Not one of them.
They've not solved those problems. Everybody knows. It doesn't take rocket science to know that the transmission company cannot service everybody. The national grid is old and dilapidated.
Oh yeah.
They are even talking about their equipment that they refuse to clear.
And transmission is a major problem.
That is the problem that we have in Nigeria.
Oh, I was listening to the minister.
It's transmission.
The minister said the discos are the weakest link. I said, what
How can they be?
It is the transmission.
What are you saying?
That's our problem.
Minister, you are talking like this.
Every time you hear
Siemens conducted a stress test of the 3 legs of our energy sector, and they came up. They came up with a report that showed that the transmission leg is the weakest. A lot of the equipment are old. Some of them are like 40-year-old equipment that need to freshen them up. So now the minister will come and say the discos are the weakest.
Then they also have to decentralize the transmission.
Oh yeah.
Using only one grid for the whole country does not make sense.
In a 21st
and that is the only that was the only segment that they did not privatize.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So Mr. President can do something. That's what we're saying.
He can do a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm appealing to him, given what I've seen happening in UCH, that he should send the Rural Electrification Agency to go and construct an off-grid power solution for UCH. For the sake of UCH's history.
I agree.
Give it to them, they will have 24 hours electricity. It happened in Lut. They gave Lut. In fact, thanks to COVID. COVID was what, during the time of COVID, they built some off-grid power for some
institutions.
For some health institutions in our country.
Yeah.
So that because some of them had what do we call them that time? Isolation
centers. Yeah.
No? So they gave loot, and they can give usage too.
It can.
They gave a lot of our universities that time. They built off-grid power this thing for them.
Installations.
Instead of leaving people to be dying at root. Okay. Because the workers are even saying we will not come to work if you do not solve the electricity problem.
Gentlemen, we must go. But if you're watching us, just know that our business here is essentially to mold opinion and allow decision makers to work with the opinion. All right, we must go, but not before thanking BKO for your time.
Thank you.
And Mayor Akingpelu, many thanks.
Thank you.
So we're done. That's it on the show for today. If you missed any part of it, not to worry. At 11 later tonight, we broadcast a repeat for you. But on Sunday, we expand the field for you from 1:30 to 3:30. And just to also add, we're on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
Morning, no. Come. Now we are not the hurry go like say something they pursue now.
Oga landlord, na Favor wey dey sick so.
He dey hospital with Mama Favor.
Favor get diphtheria and she dey.
Shebi you dey carry her go take immunization.
Oga landlord,
Hey.
Abi never give her vaccination before.
But since we born Favor, we never carry am go collect immunization before.
Mama Favor na your friend. You know they tell her.
I tell am. Even sef me and my husband follow you talk that time. You dey here when Joy, my sister, born. Every time he dey carry him pikin for immunization as he suppose. Even Joy follow collect him COVID vaccine that time.
Na the head of our pikins dem we dey talk for here. If dem no collect their immunization, as e suppose be, na their health we dey put for danger. So you no go follow who no road.
If your pikin miss to collect any immunization, let dem go any health center to complete am. Make papa and mama dem use that chance collect dem COVID vaccine. Call 7722 for more information.
Follow who no road.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Today, there are many complex, boring, expensive, and useless exercise machines in the market. Or you pay over 400,000 naira a year for gym membership and never go. ShopX TV is proud to introduce Total Crunch Evolution, the compact, versatile fitness solution that is perfect for you. With Total Crunch, you get a complete fitness workout in one machine. Say goodbye to ineffective and complicated exercise machines. Now, you have the power to transform your fitness journey and get the body you have always wanted right in the comfort of your own home. Total Crunch is the efficient and effective way to build muscle, tone and tighten your legs, shape your back and pectorals, while strengthening your core and defining your abs. Now that's totally effective to get the body you want. With Total Crunch, your whole body works out at the same time. Only Total Crunch can put your whole body in motion as you burn calories and lose weight. Just one fitness routine a week will achieve serious results in 4 weeks.
Total Crunch Evolution has enhanced the way I work out and the results I achieve. It's not just a fitness equipment, it's a life changer. This versatile, time-saving machine is perfect for anyone looking to lose weight or stay in shape. Trust me, this is a game changer you've been waiting for.
With my busy schedule, finding time to work out and stay in shape has always been a challenge until I discovered the Total Crunch Evolution. It's a lifesaver.
Traditional exercise equipment is large, complex, takes up so much space in your home, and you could be paying up to 400,000 naira for annual gym fees. Get the Total Crunch Evolution, the 2-in-1 fitness solution to save the cost and transform your body from the convenience of your home. Similar equipment costs 300,000 naira, but you can get the Total Crunch Evolution for not 300,000 naira, not even 200,000 naira. Order right now and get your Total Crunch Evolution for just 179,950 naira only. And that's not all. You can get our Total Crunch Evolution in 2 easy payments of 89,975 naira. That's right. Pay twice to get your Total Crunch. And remember, if you order now, you get the Total Crunch Evolution delivered to you for free anywhere you are in Nigeria. And it comes with a ShopX 30-day money-back guarantee. Call the number on your screen now or scan the code to place your order now. But hurry, limited stock available. The proceeding is a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear
You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. You can join the conversation right now on X using hashtag Beyond 100 Days. Remember to tag at TVC News NG. After some weeks of postponement, President Bola Tinubu has now signed the National Student Loan Reenactment Bill into law. The president signed the bill into law today at the council chambers of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The executive bill access the Higher Education Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2024 is to provide loans to Nigerians for higher education, vocational training, and skills acquisition.
We have just signed a bill proclaiming the student loan effectively. First of all, I must thank the members of the National Assembly for their expeditious handling of this bill, considering the children of Nigeria, that education is the tool to fight against poverty effectively. We are determined to ensure education is given the proper attention necessary for the country, including skill development programs. This is to ensure that no one, no matter how poor their background is excluded from quality education and opportunity to build their future.
Away from that, President Tinubu has sympathized with the family of Ali Shiroma over the passing of the elder statesman. Comrade Shiroma was former president of the Nigeria Labour Congress from 1984 to 1988 and had held various positions within the trade union hierarchy. The president sympathizes with the organized labor community and everyone impacted by the painful loss. Mr. President affirms that Comrade Shiroma stood up for the independence of the NLC and doggedly defended the downtrodden when it mattered the most. Shiroma was profoundly exemplified in the era of the resistance by the NLC and her allies in the labor movement against the structural adjustment program of General Ibrahim Babangida administration. Ali Shiroma died at the age of 91. Is Nigeria ready for population census? That's one of the questions we're asking on the show today. The Chairman House Committee on Population, Okunjimi Odimayo, has expressed satisfaction with the level of preparedness of the National Population Commission to conduct the upcoming first digital population and housing census in Nigeria. And he said this some months back while briefing journalists after the budget defense. He did add that already over 250 billion naira had been expended on the preparations for the population and housing census, warning that if the delay continues, NPC would be compelled to buy some items again, which the Commission already brought. He joins me live on the program, Chairman House Committee on Population, Okunjimi Odimayo. Thank you so much for talking to us on the program today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Welcome on the show, Honorable. So you've been talking about the preparedness of NPC to conduct what they call the first digital census in Nigeria. If the Commission is ready, what is responsible for the delay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And good evening, my audience. My name is Omoba Okunjimi Odimayo, and I speak. I'm currently a member of the House of Representatives representing Irele Oktikpa Federal Constituency. I'm from Ondo State. Thank you. As you know, that National Population Commission, by virtue of their act, they are charged with the responsibility of conducting a census, and the act is pretty clear, pretty clear on how this should be done. But for Nigeria, I think we are lacking behind now. The act specifically mentioned that it should be reviewed every 10 years, but it's over 15 years now. And as we have known, is that this exercise was postponed because it's very close to the end of a tenure, and now that the new administration is in place, we are hoping that this administration will do the needful by making a public proclamation on the day of census.
You know, the concern, Honorable, with census has been the accuracy of the data and how verifiable the figures are. I remember speaking with a federal commissioner of the NPC a year ago who said that though there's a personal digital assistant that will be used during the exercise, but there's no plan to capture biometrics during the exercise. Does that bother you? Does that not defeat the whole purpose of using technology?
Thank you very much. The question of biotechnology and digital was something that I personally, when they came for their presentation, I actually raised a concern on. But when you listen to them, I think census specifically, the way the world see it is different from the way we see it in Nigeria, because actually, as a growing company, as a growing country, this data, when you look at the enormous, the amount of money that we put into it, you will know that there are a lot of things that are supposed to go in tandem with it. But talking to them and with their explanations, I think they have the international community has a reservation when it comes to biometric. So although we advise them to maybe to give it other names, but they still emphasize that the international community norms does not give approval to biometric. But the most important aspect of it is that they are going digital, and this will guarantee the accuracy of the data. And to what we have seen, even despite the security challenge, we are very sure that with the exercise that they will go, that it will capture accurately 99% of Nigeria.
All right. You know, the argument for biometrics is a very logical one because you have a unique fingerprint that no one in the world shares, and that's perhaps how you can be sure that someone doesn't register twice. We've heard stories of how religion and ethnicity have gotten in the way of previous exercises. We've heard stories about places where you can't access the wife and the woman. The man goes in and tells you the number of people inside. But with the use of biometrics, no one can be counted twice. That perhaps is the argument. But your committee recently probed the 200 billion naira reportedly spent on the suspended census. There are stories about millions of naira used on social media and the millions of naira gotten from UNICEF. What was your finding when you met with the commission?
Thank you very much. You know, when it comes to figure, because my background is accounting, and also I'm also a chartered accountant, so we are very careful when it comes to figure. With our findings, although we invited them, and currently the investigation is going on, but the fact is that you know, this amount is not there is nowhere that 200 billion was allocated or appropriated to NPC. It's an ongoing process, and the thing has even started over 3 or 4 years ago, because you can't start. Census is something that is done is a progressive thing. You cannot, if you want to do census in 3 months' time, you can't start today. There are some things that must be put in place. So for so far so good, a petition was laid to the House, and we are currently looking into it. And what we have seen so far, they've been able to, at least for those tablets that was bought, we've been able to track them. They've actually purchased some equipment for the census, which we have actually seen. and the investigation is still ongoing, and we've adjourned to another day. But at least with what we have seen so far, there is actually value for money. What was purchased was adequately represented, but I cannot tell you precisely this is the end of it, but only that what we have seen so far have shown that actually some asset has been bought, and it's still ongoing.
So what did you mean when you said that if we don't have the counting done now, we might be spending money on the same thing we've spent money on before?
Thank you very much. As the chairman of the committee, and when this commission came to come and brief us, I actually weep, because I am a private operator. I'm coming from the private. I'm coming from the private sector, where when we put one error in any project, we have to see it to the end. And in the normal accounting world, a capital project is a project where you start, you can't stop. So I want to liken the census to a capital project. If you start it, you have to end it. As we speak, we have spent a lot of money on census. We have put a lot of money in census. This money have been put into some certain asset that already now they are going bad. The issue of indelible ink, the issue of the tablet, even the warranty given to them as we speak, they cannot guarantee it, because when you are putting this into use, there may be a challenge. But some of this thing is actually going, there is eluding them. Medical, the amount expended for medical, as we speak, those drugs cannot be used again. There are a lot. So I'm afraid that Nigeria as a country put this so much on this exercise, and it seems concentration, we are not attending to it the way it should be attended to. So
You also talked about an oversight function to NPC offices to inspect the procurements made ahead of this exercise. Has that been done, or it's slated for a future time?
Actually, what we have just done is the one of Abuja here. We've visited them, and what we have seen so far, really, when we mention billions, it triggered concern in Nigeria. But what we have seen so far have actually showed that the commission has appropriately utilized what was given to them. And when we went to their head office, is actually what we have seen so far. I think we are satisfied, and we will still go to. We have divided ourselves to their various state visit because we are told that most of these assets are kept in CBN. We want to go and see them before we conclude our report.
All right, we'll talk about politics shortly, but that'll be after this break. Stay with us, everyone. Thanks for staying with us, everyone. I've been speaking with Chairman House Committee on Population in the House of Representatives, Kunjimi Hodimayo. He joins us live from our Abuja studio. So we are also hearing that you're contesting the APC primary this month ahead of the Ondo State governorship election, and you were quoted to have said that you will get the ticket. I'm sure you agree that that's an Herculean task, given the heavyweights on the ballot.
Thank you very much. It is very, to us, there's nothing that is difficult for anyone that belongs to God, and we know that we have prepared, and it's not going to be as difficult as it sounds. I contested for this seat 2020. with Akeredolu, so adequate experience has been gathered. So it's not going to be difficult. And even what we are enjoying now today is that experience we've acquired so far. So we are sure that coming 20th of April, that we are sure of coming victorious at the election. Looking at the uniqueness of our aspirations. If you check all the people that are contesting, you see that I am the youngest. I am the youngest among all, except for the young lady. And also, as a youth, I have the charismatic, I have the agility, I'm responsive, and checking what the trends of the world now, you will see that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just visited Senegal. The president of Senegal today is a year older than as I do. So the trend we are following now is the youth are taking over. The ability for us to do it, provided we are able to demonstrate that the capability is there. And if you check on those states in particular, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the substantive minister is somebody I'm even is somebody that is a youthful. The second minister is also a youth, and we are going to complete the process by having a corresponding energy from the state. By having this time a youth and we are going to have it good.
So there's a sitting senator, former commissioner. I think I spoke with the former SSG yesterday. Quite a number of people, about 18 of you thereabout, who want that ticket. But there's also an incumbent governor, who many would say has a bigger advantage because he's sitting governor already. But how do you think Governor Aiyedatiwa has fared in the past 75 days in office?
Well, for Governor Aiyedatiwa, he became a governor by virtues of our great leader that answered the call of God, and he came aboard as an aspirant. I don't see a major advantage attributed to him. He's a governor, and the seat cannot be vacant. He's occupying the place now, and preparing for election. If you have seen for this period so far, you know that he's actually fighting to make up, because before he assumed office 27 December, as at that time he was not very active. So all this period now is fighting to make up, and the field is open for us, to compete. We that are aspirant, we don't see anything new about him. And if you compare to me that even when his boss, who is our leader, was actually in aspiring for a second office, I contested against him. So to me, facing an incumbent is no longer a challenge to me. It's something I'm used to, and I know I understand where they can attribute as the advantage.
You contested against the incumbent in 2020, but you did not win. And that's the point that I'm making, that in the Nigerian politics of today, it's difficult to win an incumbent and get in, the ticket, except you don't see it that way.
No, not at all. If you check Ondo State is a state that, though there is no written law, but you know that we respect zoning. So as at the second time that I was contesting with Akeredolu, that factors was there, that he has contested one, and the party need to support him for the second time. So and even with that, you could see that we gave him tough time. And just before the election, before the primary election, the party leadership stood up and spoke to some of us, and we have to, after acquire reform, we have to step down for him and join him. So this is different, because this governor, the Governor Aiyedatiwa, is actually closing up for Akeredolu. So
based on the zoning that you talked about, Honorable, the zoning factor seems to favor both of you. Both of you are from the south. I've been from the south, right?
Yes. Let's look at it from the angle of the opposition. You see, because Ondo State people, as the politicians that are playing politics in Ondo State, they are not up to 10%. So as for Lucky and I think if you put us on the table, you see, Lucky is facing a constitutional restriction as somebody that is completing the second time of his boss. He can only do 4 years. And Ondo South, as I know, because I enjoyed such advantage when I was coming to rep. And Ondo people are politically aware. So there is no how you can put a PDP is talking like 8 years, APC is talking at 4 years. On those state people, they are very simple. They will not even think about a party. They will go with PDP. So that is what we are saying, that we should not look at the primary. We should look at the general election, because we are dealing with sophisticated people that are politically aware. They are aware, they know. We are talking about a zone that have been backward. We are talking about a zone that even the first time we have a Southerner governor, he spent 6 years. So there are two things about it. People are saying that if it is a cost, they have to break the cost now. So it's actually, to me, if we are to look at this, the interest of the South, we are just simple that you should have just stepped down, because it will amount to losing this election at the end of the day, because Ondo people are politically aware, and they will not leave that opportunity. They will not live 8 years for 4 years. That is what I've seen. It's not against Ayedatiwa, but it is the interest of the South. So for some of us that are contesting, we know this, and we've tried to pass this message to the leadership of the party, that they should tread carefully, because PDP is there watching us to make that mistake. And it will going to be a simple sentiment to say to the public that, see, this is the South, this is the southern part time, and they will just sell themselves, and they will get the sympathy of the vote. So that is very, very important. That is very, very important.
We're running out of time now, Honorable. But let's talk about post-primary, because you've talked about what happens to the APC after this exercise. What if it doesn't go your way? Will you still remain with the APC? Will you support whoever emerges winner? What do you see happening in the coming days?
Well, somebody like us, we don't have anywhere we are going. I'm a very consistent person, and also we have picked the nomination form. We cannot be talking about a preferred candidate now. Since all of us have picked a nomination form, we are expected to go to the poll, and when the winner emerges through a credible process, believe me, and everybody will become one family. We will work with the winner, and that is what I know. As we speak now, we cannot be talking about a prefer or any candidate, and we thank God for what the feeler we have been getting from the NWC and from the leadership of the party. There is no such move. So we have moved from that angle. We have acquired form. We have purchased the form. We have to go. Everybody is preparing now to go to the poll. And when we go to the poll, it's credible. I enjoy such. When we go to the poll, when a winner emerges, there will not be litigation. The one that brought me here, we went to the poll with over 5 or 6 people, and there was no one single litigation, because the process would have been adjoined credible and fair for all.
All right, that's our time. A big thank you, Honorable, for joining us on the program. I've been speaking with Honorable Kujibi Odumayo, who is also Chairman House Committee on Population in the House of Representatives. Interesting days ahead, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's our program today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear
Amaria, now where you they come from? For inside this hot sun.
Antenatal, enter market.
I happy well for this clinic where you they go. It is very important for the baby.
Not true. It go make me dey safe. Me and my baby where they carry for my belly.
That means everybody, plus including pikin, so where they inside belly, go collect vaccine.
Today, I collect vaccine for tetanus. I collect vaccine for COVID. And those vaccines, now them go take care of my baby and me myself. And now I can't know say he get vaccine for pikin them separately. And he get the one for pregnant women like me. I dey follow who no rule.
Women when get belle supposed to collect them COVID and tetanus vaccine. They protect them and them picking for belle from infection. Waka go any health center or call 7722 for more information.
Follow who no rule. The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Today, there are many complex, boring, expensive, and useless exercise machines in the market. Or you pay over 400,000 naira a year for gym membership and never go. ShopX TV is proud to introduce Total Crunch Evolution, the compact, versatile fitness solution that is perfect for you. With Total Crunch, you get a complete fitness workout in one machine. Say goodbye to ineffective and complicated exercise machines. Now, you have the power to transform your fitness journey and get the body you have always wanted right in the comfort of your own home. Total Crunch is the efficient and effective way to build muscle, tone and tighten your legs, shape your back and pectorals, while strengthening your core and defining your abs. Now that's totally effective to get the body you want. With Total Crunch, your whole body works out at the same time. Only Total Crunch can put your whole body in motion as you burn calories and lose weight. Just one fitness routine a week will achieve serious results in 4 weeks.
Total Crunch Evolution has enhanced the way I work out and the results I achieve. It's not just a fitness equipment, it's a life changer. This versatile, time-saving machine is perfect